My name is Mary Jane, and I'm 26 years old. My parents thought they were being clever. Little did they know their daughter would end up needing superhero strength to survive what they put me through. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Before I continue, I want to thank you for listening to my story. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time it is. That April evening started like any other. Emma, my younger sister, was sprawled across the living room couch, her perfectly manicured nails tapping away at her phone. At 24, she'd mastered the art of doing nothing while looking incredibly busy. Her blonde highlights caught the light as she squealed about her acceptance to the Fashion Institute in New York. Can you believe it, Mary Jane? NYC, where dreams come true. She didn't look up from her screen. Oh, wait, you wouldn't understand. Community college isn't exactly the same vibe. I bit my tongue, like always. What Emma didn't know, what none of them knew, was that my stupid little Etsy shop was pulling in more monthly than Dad's accounting job. But I'd learned long ago that success without their approval meant nothing in this house. Then Mom called Emma to the kitchen, and curiosity got the better of me. That's when I heard it, the conversation that shattered whatever illusions I had left about my place in this family. $35,000? Emma's voice was pure entitlement. That's it? Sweetie, that's just for the first year. Mom cooed. We've been saving since you were little. Your college fund should cover all 4 years, plus living expenses. My stomach dropped. My college fund, the one they told me didn't exist when I'd asked 3 years ago. What about Mary Jane? Emma asked, though her tone suggested she didn't really care. That's when Mom said those words. Fight for your life. Like I was some wild animal who needed to prove they deserved basic survival. Dad's next words were worse. She's always been difficult. Maybe struggling will teach her gratitude. Emma, you're our investment in the future. Mary Jane, well, she'll figure it out, or she won't. I stood frozen, my hand on the wall to steady myself. 26 years of being the spare child, the backup plan nobody wanted to execute, crystallized in that moment. Every Christmas where Emma's gifts towered over mine. Every school play where they missed my performance but recorded hers. Every time they introduced us. Our daughter Emma, and this is also Mary Jane. I walked into the kitchen. 3 pairs of eyes turned to me. Emma's embarrassed. Mom's defiant. Dad's dismissive. The money you're giving Emma, I said quietly. Was that my college fund? Mom had the audacity to look offended. Were you eavesdropping? Answer the question. Dad stood up, his accountant's posture rigid with authority. That money is going where it's needed. Emma has potential. She has dreams. You have, what? That little craft project you do online? That little craft project made $60,000 last year. The silence was deafening. Emma's phone actually stopped pinging. Dad laughed. Actually laughed. Right. Selling friendship bracelets to teenagers? Customized jewelry to adults with disposable income. I pulled out my phone, showed them my business dashboard. Last month alone, $8,000 in revenue. Mom snatched my phone, her face cycling through confusion, disbelief, and then anger. You've been hiding this from us? Like you hid my college fund? Emma stood up, her voice shrill. That money is mine. I earned it by actually having talent. What talent, Emma? Instagram filters? She lunged at me, but Dad caught her arm. Mary Jane, you need to leave. Now. I live here. Not anymore. His voice was stone. You want to pretend you're some entrepreneur? Fine. Entrepreneurs don't live with their parents. Take your lies and go. Richard! Mom gasped, but her protest was weak. She just admitted to hiding thousands of dollars while living here rent-free. He continued. That's theft. The absurdity almost made me laugh. Theft? You stole my future and gave it to her. We gave it to someone who deserved it, he said simply. You don't deserve any help. You never have. So go fight for your life, like you apparently have been. I looked at each of them. Mom, avoiding my eyes. Dad, solid in his conviction. Emma, already texting again, probably updating her followers about her New York City adventure. Fine, I said. But remember this moment. Remember that you chose this. 2 hours later, I sat on a Greyhound bus with $247 in my wallet and a duffel bag of essentials. My phone buzzed with Emma's Instagram story. NYCBOUND, First class upgrade thanks to the best parents ever. I turned off my phone. The elderly woman next to me noticed my shaking hands. Bad night, honey. My family just kicked me out for being too successful. She laughed, thinking I was joking. Then she saw my face. Oh, sweetie, you're serious. They gave my college fund to my sister, $35,000, then threw me out when I told them I didn't need it. She patted my hand with her weathered one. Let me tell you something, dear. I'm 78 years old. Know what I learned? The best revenge isn't proving them wrong. It's proving yourself right. The bus rolled through the night while Emma posted champagne selfies at 30,000 feet. She was heading to a $4,500 per month Manhattan penthouse apartment. I was heading to wherever $247 would take me. I got off in a small town 3 hours away, partly because I needed to think, mostly because I had 16 online orders to fulfill and the bus Wi-Fi had died. The 24-hour diner glowed like a lighthouse for the lost. I ordered coffee, $2.50, leaving me $244.50, and set up my laptop in the corner booth. You planning to stay all night? The waitress asked. Her name tag said Dolores. I'll keep ordering coffee. She studied me. Saw something familiar maybe. Honey, you running from something or toward something? Both? That's the only way to run that matters. You got somewhere to sleep? I'll figure it out. She walked away, came back with a piece of pie. On the house. Can't build an empire on an empty stomach. While Emma was posting photos of her penthouse view, can you believe this is my actual life now? I was confirming shipping addresses, processing payments, and messaging customers about delays. Sorry for the late response. I typed to one. I'm currently relocating my operation. Not a lie. Just not the whole truth. At 3 a.m., Dolores' husband Frank showed up to start the morning prep. They whispered in the kitchen, and then Dolores came back. Storage room in the back has a cot. Previous owner used to nap there. $100 a week, but you help with the breakfast rush. Deal? Why would you? Because I was you once. 23 pregnant, family said I was ruining my life. 40 years later, we own 6 diners. Started with washing dishes for tips. She jerked her thumb at Frank. That dishwasher boy became my business partner. Turned out better than my family's plan of marrying me off to a dentist. I managed my first real smile in hours. Deal? That night, while Emma explored her walk-in closet, I lay on a cot that smelled like coffee and possibility. She posted about her silk sheets. I wrapped myself in a moving blanket that Frank found in his truck. She ordered sushi from Nobu. I ate leftover pie. But here's the thing about parallel lives. They only look parallel from a distance. Up close, one's ascending while the other's just pretending. I know, because at 4 a.m. Emma posted and deleted something quickly. But I saw it. Why does everyone here have trust funds? How am I supposed to compete? The first crack in her facade. I wondered how long before the whole thing shattered. By October, my morning routine was sacred. 4 a.m. inventory check in the storage room I now called home. 5 a.m. breakfast prep with Frank. 6 a.m. opening with Dolores. Then 9 hours of pure hustle until the dinner crowd died down. If you're still listening, this is where the story gets interesting. Real quick, if my journey resonates with you, hit that subscribe button. Your support means everything to a girl who started with nothing but spite and Wi-Fi connection. My phone became my lifeline to 2 different worlds. In one, I was building an empire. Custom jewelry had evolved into curated gift boxes, then subscription services. Perfectly Imperfect was now a brand, not just a desperate reframe of damaged inventory. 8,000 monthly became 15, then 20. I hired my first virtual assistant, Stacy from the Philippines, who honestly worked harder than I did. In the other world, accessed through Instagram, Emma's life looked like a magazine spread. Fashion week parties, brunches in Soho, study sessions that looked suspiciously like photo shoots. Our parents commented on everything. Our star, so proud, living your best life. But I noticed things. The same Chanel bag in every photo. Borrowed, probably. Tag locations at exclusive restaurants, but only appetizer photos. Study group pics where everyone else had textbooks, but Emma just had her phone. The real tell? Her roommate Brittany's stories. Emma in the background, always on her phone during lectures. Emma passed out at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. Emma crying in the bathroom. Quickly deleted, but I saw it. Your sister's struggling, Stacy mentioned during our morning call. She'd been helping me track market trends and stumbled across Emma's Depop account. She's selling her clothes, designer stuff. Maybe she just wants new things. Maybe. But listing your textbooks in week 8 of the semester? That afternoon, while packaging orders, I did something stupid. I checked my parents' Facebook. There it was. So proud of Emma. First semester dean's list. NYC was the right choice. I knew Emma's grades weren't posted yet, which meant she was lying to them. That night, curiosity got the better of me. I created a fake Instagram and went deeper into Emma's world. The comments on her posts were telling, "Girl, where were you in fashion history? Professor asked about you again. Your part of the project is due tomorrow." Her responses were always the same. "Family emergency. So sick. We'll make it up to you." But her tagged photos told different stories. Clubbing on exam night, shopping during group projects, and always spending. Then I found something that stopped me cold. A photo Brittany posted and forgot to tag carefully. Emma at an ATM, clearly distressed. Card declined. Caption: "When your parents forget to reload your card." The comments were brutal. Apparently, this was the 3rd time that month. Meanwhile, my phone buzzed with notification after notification. Order placed, payment received, 5-star review. Stacy had started calling me boss lady, and I'd incorporated as an LLC. My bank account hit 6 figures for the first time. $100,847.23. I screenshot it, then deleted it. No one to share it with anyway. That's when Emma posted her first desperate move. "Anyone know about paid internships? Unpaid isn't working for my schedule." The responses were predictable. Fashion internships didn't pay. Everyone knew that. But Emma kept pushing, kept asking. Then radio silence for 3 days. When she resurfaced, it was with a triumphant announcement. "Got an amazing position at a boutique PR firm." Living my dream. Our parents exploded with pride. But I recognized the building in her selfie. Not a PR firm. A Forever 21 in Times Square. January hit different when you're building an empire from a diner storage room. My first year anniversary of being disowned coincided with my biggest breakthrough yet. "Boss lady, you sitting down?" Stacy's voice crackled through our morning call. "I'm literally packaging orders on the floor, so technically, the buyer from Nordstrom wants to feature us." The actual Nordstrom. I dropped my tape gun. It clattered across the concrete floor, and Frank poked his head in. "You okay, MJ?" I think I just got into Nordstrom. The department store? His eyes widened. That's like the Yankees calling up a minor league player. It was exactly like that. Except this minor league player had been training in secret, while everyone watched someone else strike out. The irony wasn't lost on me. Emma was supposedly interning at high fashion houses, but working retail at Forever 21. Meanwhile, I was running operations from a storage room and getting into luxury department stores. The Nordstrom deal changed everything. Suddenly, I needed real inventory, real packaging, real employees. The storage room wouldn't cut it anymore. "There's a warehouse for rent," Dolores mentioned over morning prep. "Owner owes me a favor. Might could work out a deal. I can't afford—" "Sweet girl, you got Nordstrom money coming. You can afford it." She was right. The numbers made my head spin. One Nordstrom order equaled 3 months of my current revenue. I signed the lease with shaking hands, then hired 3 local women who needed flexible work. One was going through a divorce, another had kids in school, the third was retired and bored. They became my lifelines. Meanwhile, Emma's social media told a different story. The fashion posts became fewer, replaced with outfit of the day shots that were just different angles of the same 3 outfits. She stopped tagging restaurants, started posting more study nights that looked suspiciously like her bedroom. Then came the post that made me spit out my coffee. So excited to be working with emerging designers. The photo showed my products, MY products, in the store where she worked. She didn't recognize them. How could she? The girl who said my craft project was embarrassing was now arranging my jewelry displays, folding my scarves, recommending my gift sets to customers. The universe had a sense of humor darker than my coffee. "Should we tell her?" Stacy asked when I shared the photo. "No, let her sell them. She's probably making commission on her sister's success without knowing it." But the real kicker came in March. Emma posted about her amazing fashion internship at Vogue. Our parents were beside themselves with pride. The comments flooded in. OMGVOGUE. Living the dream. Anna Winter better watch out. I knew better. The geotag she forgot to turn off showed Forever 21. The Vogue badge was from a tourist photo op. The desk selfie was in a stockroom, not an office. She was creating an elaborate fiction while I was building an empire nobody knew about. We were both lying to our parents. She about failure, me about success. The difference? My lies protected me. Hers were destroying her. Late one night, unable to sleep, I did something I shouldn't have. I used my business account to order something from the store where Emma worked, selecting in-store pickup. Not to see her. God, not that. But to see if she'd recognize my company name. The confirmation email came with a note. Personal shopper Emma will prepare your order. My sister would be packaging my products to send to me. The irony was so thick I could have cut it with the tape gun I'd finally replaced with an automatic system. But then Stacy forwarded me something that changed the game. Boss lady, you need to see this. It was a screenshot from a sugar daddy website. Emma's profile, under a fake name, but definitely her photos. Fashion student seeking generous mentor for mutual beneficial arrangement. My successful sister, our parents' golden child, selling herself to maintain the lie. I stared at that profile for an hour. Part of me wanted to feel vindicated. She got everything handed to her and still failed. But mostly, I felt sad. We were both fighting for our lives. She just didn't know she was losing. Year 2 started with me signing a lease on my first real apartment. Not fancy, a 1-bedroom in a decent neighborhood. But it had something the storage room didn't: dignity. Frank and Dolores threw me a going-away party at the diner, complete with a cake that said CEO in training. I ugly cried into the frosting. "You'll still visit, right?" Dolores asked, hugging me tight. "Every Sunday, promise." My business had evolved into something I barely recognized. 20 employees, a legitimate warehouse, 3 product lines, and revenue that made my dad's annual salary look like pocket change. We were in Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, and had just landed Saks Fifth Avenue. The universe kept its twisted sense of humor, though. Our newest retail partner, the exact Forever 21 where Emma worked. My products would be in her store, under her nose, every single day. "Boss lady, there's something else," Stacy said during our morning call. "The store manager at that Forever 21 wants you to do a personal appearance. Meet the designer event." "When?" "Next Thursday, 3 to 5 p.m. I checked Emma's Instagram. She'd be working that shift. She always posted her Thursday outfit photos at 2:45 p.m. like clockwork. "Tell them I'm unavailable. Founder's privacy policy." "You sure?" "It's good money. Some things are worth more than money, Stacy." But Emma's posts were becoming concerning. The fake Vogue internship had evolved into an entire fictional life. She posted about Fashion Week experiences she couldn't have had, meetings with designers who didn't know she existed, and projects that only lived in her imagination. Our parents ate it up. Their Facebook was a shrine to Emma's fake achievements. Our daughter rubbing shoulders with fashion elite. So proud of our NYC success story. Emma making connections that will last a lifetime. The comments from relatives were worse. Mary Jane could learn from her sister. Whatever happened to the other one? Glad one of them turned out right. If only they knew the other one just hit her first million in revenue. Then came the message that changed everything. It was from Brittany, Emma's ex-roommate, through my business Instagram. "Are you Mary Jane, Emma's sister? I need to talk to you." We video called that night. Brittany looked exhausted. "I moved out 3 months ago," she started. "I couldn't watch anymore." "Your sister? She's in trouble." "What kind of trouble?" "The lying is pathological now. She tells everyone she has this trust fund, that she's just waiting for it to clear. She owes me 3 months' rent. She owes our other roommate 6. She got evicted from the penthouse. She's in Queens now with some sketchy people she met on Craigslist." "What about school?" Brittany laughed bitterly. "She hasn't been to class since October. Failed out, officially, but keeps showing up for the social events. Security had to escort her out of the spring gala because she wasn't enrolled anymore." My chest tightened. "Do our parents know?" "She sends them fake grade reports, photoshopped screenshots, even made a fake dean's letter congratulating her." Brittany paused. "Look, I'm not trying to hurt her, but she owes a lot of people money." And the sugar daddy thing? That went bad. The guy found out she was lying about being in fashion school. He's threatening to sue for fraud. After we hung up, I sat in my apartment, my earned apartment, and felt the weight of knowledge. Emma wasn't just failing. She was imploding. That weekend, I did something I swore I wouldn't. I hired a private investigator, not to hurt her, but to know the full truth. What came back was worse than I imagined. Emma owed $80,000 across 17 credit cards. She'd taken out 3 personal loans using fake employment verification from her Vogue internship. She was behind 6 months on her queen's rent. Her sugar daddy had filed a police report for theft. She'd stolen his watch and sold it. But the worst part? She'd created a fake Instagram for me. In her fictional world, I was homeless, drug addicted, and had called begging her for money. She'd posted screenshots of fake text conversations where I supposedly said things like, "You were always the smart one," and "I should have listened to mom and dad." She was writing fan fiction where she was the hero and I was the cautionary tale. By year 3, I should have been celebrating. Featured in Forbes 30 Under 30, business valuation at $10 million. 150 employees across 3 states, the American dream personified. Instead, I was reading the private investigator's latest report while sipping wine in my new house. Yes, the $2 million one in the Hollywood Hills. Every American woman over 55 knows that zip code means something. It means you've made it. Your sister's been arrested, the investigator said over the phone. Shoplifting from her own workplace? They dropped charges, but she's fired. From Forever 21? Yes, she apparently tried to steal inventory to sell online. Got caught loading a suitcase in the stockroom. The irony was excruciating. She was stealing to sell what I was selling legitimately. We'd both become entrepreneurs. One legally, one desperately. Emma's Instagram had gone dark for 3 weeks. When she returned, it was with a carefully crafted lie, taking a social media break to focus on my final year. Vogue wants me full-time after graduation. The comments from our parents. So proud. Our CEO in training. Success looks good on you. Meanwhile, I was doing a virtual interview with Bloomberg. The journalist asked about my family, and I gave my practiced answer. I'm focused on the family I'm building through my company. Every employee is family to me. No support from parents or siblings, she pressed. Success is sweeter when you earn it solo, I said, smiling through the sting. The interview went live the next day. 2 million views in 48 hours. The comment section exploded with women sharing their own stories of family betrayal and solo success. I'd accidentally become the poster child for abandoned daughters who thrived. That's when Peter reached out. Yes, that Peter reference. Peter Park, not Parker, but close enough for comic effect. He was another entrepreneur, ran a tech startup, and had seen my interview. Your story resonated, he said over coffee. My parents disowned me for dropping out of med school to code. Now my app just sold for $30 million. We started dating. It was nice having someone who understood that success born from spite hits different than success born from support. But the investigator kept sending updates. Emma had moved again. Couch surfing now. She'd created elaborate fake photos for our parents' graduation announcement. Used stock photos from an actual fashion show, photoshopped herself in. The announcement went out to 200 relatives. Our daughter Emma, Fashion Institute graduate, starting at Vogue this fall. I was CC'd on the email. Our parents' first contact in 3 years, and it was accidental. That night, Peter found me crying in my home office, the one with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking LA. What if I just helped her? I asked. Anonymously, would she learn anything? Did I need to learn by suffering? He held me while I sobbed. You didn't suffer because you needed to learn. You suffered because they were cruel. There's a difference. It was a Thursday in November. 3.5 years since that night I'd run away with $247. The Santa Ana winds were brutal, making everyone irritable and anxious. I was in my home office on a Bloomberg video call about taking the company public. The valuation is conservative at $15 million, the analyst was saying, with your growth trajectory. That's when I saw it through my window. A beat-up Honda Civic had broken down on my street. The passenger was getting out, and even from a distance, that blonde hair was unmistakable. Emma, my sister, was standing in front of my house in designer knockoffs and desperation, having no idea whose house it was. Can we continue this later? I told the analyst. Something's come up. I watched from the window as Emma walked around the car to the driver's side. Her boyfriend probably, skinny guy, neck tattoos, definitely the I'm gonna be a famous DJ type. Their car was blocking my driveway. Then I saw the moment it clicked for her. my custom rose gold Tesla in the driveway. I'd posted about it once on my business account. She stood frozen, staring at it, then at the house, then at the small bronze plaque by the door that said MJ Enterprises. Her phone was out immediately. I could see her scrolling frantically, probably Googling my company. Then she looked up and saw me in the window. Our eyes met for the first time in 3.5 years. She didn't wave, didn't smile, just pulled out her phone and made a call. Even from inside, I could hear her wailing. Dad! Dad! She was sobbing so hard her boyfriend got out to check on her. I'm at her house. Mary Jane, she has a fucking mansion. I watched my father's golden child collapse on my manicured lawn, screaming into her phone about the injustice of my success. How does she have this? You said she was nothing. You said she'd fail. Dad, it's not fair. The boyfriend tried to calm her down. Clearly embarrassed as my neighbors started to notice. This was a nice street. People didn't scream on lawns here. My phone rang. Unknown number, but I knew. Hello, Dad. Silence. Then, is Emma at your house? She's on my lawn, technically. Your house? Yes. How? I fought for my life. Like you told me to. He hung up, but Emma was still wailing, now lying dramatically on my grass like a teenager who'd been told no. The boyfriend was trying to physically lift her. 20 minutes later, a Lincoln Town car pulled up. My parents. They'd driven 3 hours at dangerous speeds to get here. My mother got out first, aged considerably since I'd last seen her. She looked at the house, at the Tesla, at Emma still sobbing, then at me standing in the doorway I'd opened. Mary Jane? Like she wasn't sure it was me. Hello, Mom. Dad was Googling frantically on his phone. I watched his face as he found the Forbes article, the Bloomberg interview, the company valuation. His thumb kept scrolling, his expression evolving from confusion to disbelief to something that looked like fear. 15 million, he said faintly. Conservative estimate. Emma had finally stood up, grass stains on her knockoff designer dress. It's not fair. I was the one who went to fashion school. Did you, though? I asked calmly. Everyone froze. What's that supposed to mean? Mom asked. I pulled out my phone, pulled up the investigator's report. Failed out October of freshman year, never went back, been lying for 3 years. Working retail, not at Vogue. 80,000 in debt, currently couch surfing because she got evicted. Again. Emma's face went white. How do you... The same way I know about the sugar daddy website, the arrest for shoplifting, the fake Instagram you made of me being homeless. I looked at our parents. Did you enjoy those? The fake texts where I supposedly begged her for drug money? We all stood there on my lawn like a bizarre family portrait. Success and failure, truth and lies. All the chickens coming home to a $2 million roost. You've been spying on me? Emma shrieked. You've been pretending I'm a homeless drug addict for internet sympathy. I needed something. They kept asking about you. So you chose character assassination? Dad finally found his voice. You hired someone to stalk your sister? No, I hired someone to make sure my sister wasn't dead. Because despite everything, I apparently still give a damn. I turned to Emma. 80,000 in debt. How is that even possible? She crumbled. Right there on my lawn, my golden child sister crumbled into the truth. I couldn't do it, okay? Everyone at fashion school was rich. Actually rich. They had connections, real designers as parents, summer homes in the Hamptons. I was nobody. I tried to keep up. Tried to fake it till I made it, but you can't fake talent, I said. Not cruelly, just factually. You don't understand. You were never supposed to succeed. You were the failure, the cautionary tale. I was the star. Based on what? I genuinely wanted to know. What made you the star and me the failure? She couldn't answer. Neither could our parents. Here's what's going to happen, I said. The CEO and me taking over. Emma, you're going to accept a job at my company. Entry level, 60,000 a year plus benefits. You'll work in fulfillment to start. Learn the actual business. The salary should let you handle your debt in 3 years if you live modestly. I'm not working for you. Then enjoy bankruptcy and potential fraud charges. Your choice. Mom stepped forward. Mary Jane, family helps family. Stop. I held up my hand. Family helps family. Where was that philosophy when you gave her my college fund? When you kicked me out with nothing? When you changed the locks and blocked my number? You were difficult, Dad protested. always fighting us. I was different. There's a distinction. I looked at each of them. You had two daughters, one who did everything you asked, and one who did everything her own way. You decided obedience was worth investing in, and independence was worth discarding. And look how that turned out, Peter said, appearing beside me. I hadn't heard him pull up. Your investment is bankrupt. Your discard is a millionaire. Emma looked between us. You're dating someone named Peter? Like Spider-Man? Like Spider-Man, I confirmed. Turns out Mary Jane does get her Peter. Just had to build my own empire first. Dad was still scrolling through articles about my company. This says you employ over 100 people. 153. Mostly women who needed flexible work. Single moms, recent divorces, retirees. People society wrote off. I paused. Like you wrote me off. We never meant. You literally told me I didn't deserve help, that I had to fight for my life. So I did, and I won. Emma's boyfriend had been silent this whole time, but now he spoke up. Yo, Em, you told me your sister was a junkie. She lied about a lot of things, I said, but she's still my sister, which is why I'm offering her a job instead of a restraining order. I'll take it, Emma said quietly. What? Our parents said in unison. I'll take the job. I can't do this anymore. The lying, the running, the pretending. She really looked at me for the first time in years. You actually made it. So can you. Just not the way you thought. Mom was crying now. We destroyed our family. No, I corrected. You made a choice. You chose your favorite. It just turned out your favorite couldn't carry the weight of your expectations, and your spare became self-sufficient out of spite. Can you forgive us? Dad asked. Forgiveness isn't a light switch, it's a dimmer. Right now you're at about 15%. Emma taking this job and succeeding, that might get you to 30. Actually acknowledging what you did, maybe 50. But Fulbright? That's years away, if ever. Peter squeezed my hand, a reminder that I had built my own family now. The job starts Monday. I told Emma, Stacy will send you details. Don't be late. I don't do nepotism. Even reverse nepotism? She tried to joke, especially that. As they all stood to leave, Mom turned back. The woman you became, would you have become her if we'd supported you? I thought about it. Really thought about it? No, I became her because you didn't. But that doesn't make what you did right. It just makes what I did remarkable. They left in their separate cars, parents in their Lincoln, Emma in the broken Honda. I watched from my doorway, the California sun setting behind them, painting everything gold. You okay? Peter asked. You know what the ironic part is? If they'd split that $35,000 between us, Emma probably would have graduated and I still would have built this company. We both could have won. But then you wouldn't have this story. True. And what a story it is. Later that night, I posted on my business Instagram for the first time about my personal journey. No details about family. Just 3 years ago, I started with $247 in spite. Today, we're valued at $15 million. To everyone who was told they don't deserve help, you don't need their help. You have yourself. That's enough. It went viral. 40 million views. 20,000 comments from women who'd been the spare child, the discarded one, the one who didn't deserve help. Emma started that Monday. She was 10 minutes early. She's still working for me now 2 years later. She's good at it. Turns out when you remove the pressure of being perfect, people can actually grow. She paid off half her debt, lives in a modest apartment, and hasn't posted on Instagram in a year. Our parents? They visit sometimes. It's awkward sitting in my dining room that costs more than their house, being served by the daughter they threw away. But we're trying. 15% became 30, 30 became 50. Some days, when Mom helps Emma understand a particularly difficult customer, or when Dad admits he was wrong about my craft project, we hit 60%. But the best part? Every month, I fund a scholarship for a young woman whose family told her she doesn't deserve help. Full ride, no strings, just a note that says, you deserve everything. Go fight for your life. Because that's what they never understood. When you tell someone to fight for their life, sometimes they win. And when they win without you, they owe you nothing, not even forgiveness. Though I'm working on it at my own pace, in my own mansion, with my own Peter Parker, my chosen family of employees, and a sister who finally learned that being real beats being perfect every time. Karma isn't always instant, but when it comes with interest. And business? Business is good.